It is so very telling because, again, as a New Yorker, I'm sure you saw what went down last night at the All-Star game. There's a lot of different things that one can point to where you would say, okay, this doesn't make any sense. You've got this Israeli that somehow ended up in the All-Star game. He clearly was nowhere near an All-Star caliber player, but he ended up getting voted in. You saw
That's such a surprise, really? They cheated?
Yes. Very much so. And then you see all of these other people that showed up at the game, including New York's very own Noah Tishby, celebrating this guy like he's some type of a hero. This is the part of the story from the NBA All-Star game that I think is the most important.
From Channel 14 in Israel, for all the Israeli fans, what message would you like to send for Israel? And also, what do you think about Danny Avdia?
Well, I've been quoted on Danny already, and they asked me what I thought about this season. I said I believe he was an all-star, and I mean he is an all-star. He's playing exceptional basketball. So that's that. And then I mean if I have fans over there, I've never been there. If I have fans over there, then I hope you have been following my career. I hope I inspire people over there to not only want to be great in sports, but I want you to be better in general in life. So hopefully someday I can make it over there. Like I said, I've never been over there, but I've heard nothing but great things. And
he's heard nothing but great things. This is so disappointing.
I mean, he's buried his entire reputation over the past decade plus. I mean, listen, he's an all-time great basketball player. He's not Michael Jordan, and as far as I'm concerned, he's not even Larry Bird. Like, the idea that there's been, I mean, honestly, Margaret, I was a basketball player. I loved the game for many years. I can remember where I was the night LeBron made his decision to go to Miami, and I remember saying, this is going to ruin the sport. Like, I had this very unsettling feeling that it was going to set a very negative precedent as far as where the league was.
He's a sellout, is what I feel like right now. This is pathetic. What are your thoughts?
But on top of everything else, just the fact that he's sitting there saying, I ain't heard nothing but good things about Israel. You mean like the time he was caught on camera saying, ain't no party like a Diddy party? This guy has got some serious skeletons in his closet. Please tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I don't know what skeletons he has in his closet, but everybody knows that Israel rules. So you have this Israeli reporter ask him this question. I'd never heard of this Israeli guy until yesterday, until this press conference. And he knows right away what he's supposed to say.
Yeah.
He's supposed to say something positive about Israel. Mm-hmm. He couldn't even say, she says, what do you want your fans in Israel to know? I'm glad I have fans all over the world. God bless you. Next question. No, he knows he has to say there's good things, or I hear about good things going on over there. But that's who he's always been. When he was with Cleveland and little boy Tamir Rice, 11 years old, killed by the police, he was asked about it and he said, I don't know much about it. I mean, that told me everything I needed to know about LeBron James, plus all the flopping around. You know, it's funny. My partner loves basketball. He can't stand LeBron James. He's always talking about him flopping around. He's not the all-time great.
No.
He says, I think maybe he's on steroids. I mean, I don't know. Nothing good. I don't, what do I know about the NBA? Nothing. So I depend on other people I trust to tell me.
Hey, listen, Margaret, a story that still is being suppressed because remember, this is capitalism and this is late stage capitalism. LeBron is still this is what I try to explain to people about those that don't get taken down when it's obvious that they should be. If you are still a valuable commodity to the capitalist machine, you are protected. The second you are no longer valuable is the second all of these stories are going to come out in mass. I hope LeBron has some type of a visa exit strategy because he's going to need it when it's all said and done.
I don't know if you saw the comment, but like I was thinking, I think about people like Muhammad Ali that took political stands and gave up and potentially ruined their careers. I mean, he didn't, but like, this is so cowardly and so pathetic. And then I saw somebody sort of had a better thought, which is, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he is not, because it's like, it's disappointing.
Well, it is very disappointing, but I'll tell you one thing that's different. They didn't make this kind of money back in the day.
That's true.
Our athletes, they were giving up less.
Yes.
If they stood up. Now they're giving up a lot. But he's made how millions of dollars.
Yeah, he's a billionaire. He's a billionaire.
He's fine. He's at the end of his career. Is he early 40s, I believe?
Yeah, I think he's 40 now.
Yeah, 40. So he's not going to be playing much longer. I mean, if there was ever a time to show a little bit of courage, this would be it. I mean, to think you have to say something nice about Israel or I'm going there. But he knew, even if nobody told him, if I'm going to be in their good graces, I got to say something good about Israel. And it is disgraceful. And the level of Zionist influence in this country, and as we're seeing with the Epstein files, the UK, we've already had a top British official have to step down, this Mandelson. His chief of staff had to quit, stand with Israel. See, there you go.
By the way, but wait. Notice the date.
Yes.
That's already 2 years in.
2 years, yes, 2 years into the genocide, but I'm going to stand with Israel. So, he knows the deal. And
now let's flip it around to somebody who was one of his all-time teammates who actually does understand the meaning of courage, and that is Kyrie Irving.
Just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but it's not.
You put things out there for a living, right?
Right, but my stuff is not.
So let's move on.
Filled with anti-Semitic.
Let's move on. Don't dehumanize me up here.
I'm not doing that.
Another human being. I can post whatever I want. So say that and shut it down and move on to the next question.
But Kyrie, you have to understand that
I don't have to understand anything.
But you have to understand, we don't feel safe.
I love that. That's the best
like that.
It's the best. I don't have to understand anything. I love that.
He said, I remember when they were forcing all the NBA players to be vaccinated for COVID, and he refused.
Yeah. And
there are places where he couldn't play. He couldn't play in New York.
And he lost millions of dollars. Millions. He did.
And he said the anti-Semitic stuff. He said something anti-Semitic. I don't recall that.
What did he say that was you mean he said something anti-Israel?
Well, yeah. Well, that's what it means now. It's a term that doesn't mean anything anymore.
Nope.
It's
Colin, grab those picks, please. First one of Kyrie.
I heard this saying that anti-Semitism anti-Semitism were people that didn't like Jews, and now it's people that Jews don't like, right? Like that's where we've gotten.
Yes, it is. It is. And now it's like, so the result is I was made anti-Semite of the week or something.
Another one. We've had two. We've had two tonight.
So
if a prominent a black intellectual in New York is not being named anti-Semite of the week, you're doing something wrong. So congratulations, you did what you needed to do.
Thank you. It was more than a year ago. I said something about Iran. And I was sort of joking. I said, okay, Iran, do us a solid. I said, but there's groups I'm affiliated
Here you
with.
go, Margaret. We're cheering to you tonight.
I'm cooking another joint. That's cute. Their server crashed. They got thousands of emails against me. I was attacked on Twitter. And now it's like that was a term anti-Semite that I would have recoiled from. I wouldn't want to be thought of as someone who hates anybody because of the
wear it as a badge of honor.
But now that it means being against genocide, okay, go ahead, call me that.
Yeah, we had just before you were. We had, I don't know if you're familiar with the young activist Guy Christensen. Mm-hmm. So he was on because they'd shut down his YouTube channel and he got it reinstated or whatever. And we had him on, and he also was an anti-Semite of the week. So I just think that's great. We had two in one night. That's awesome.
Well, now you want to talk about courage under fire, because Kyrie Irving has always stood on principle. Not only did he show up at the All-Star game last night in Los Angeles, but this is what he was wearing. he wore one of the press shirts in honor of the press journalists that were murdered in Israel. That's him and his father.
Wow.
He was raised by a single father in, I forget the name of the town. He's from Jersey, like me. I forget I think it was.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's by New Brunswick. I forget. Well, that's why you could see he's got the New Jersey hat on. Everyone thinks that's a Yankee hat. It's actually, no, it's an NJ hat to show pride. Because I don't know if he went to, it wasn't Christ the King, but he went to like one of those top, almost like Bobby Hurley type basketball schools where, again, he's an incredible player, but he's an even more incredible human. And I have no doubt.
Look, if that's what he's going to age into, that's pretty fine. Let me tell you something. The salt and pepper is very, very appealing to me.
Well, it's interesting that he pays homage to these Palestinian journalists who were murdered and with their entire families. And Israel made sure, they called it Where's Daddy? They killed people when they knew they were home with their families. And then you have these journalistic organizations. What is it? Coalition to Protect Journalists.
It's not.
They're supposed to have an index of which countries are worse for journalists. And of course, that has to be Israel. But no, they covered up for them because they were afraid. And so it's very important for somebody to stand up. Does the New York Times, the Washington Post, do any of them stand up for these Palestinian journalists? Any of the networks? No, they have not. People being, more journalists killed in Gaza than were killed in all of World War II, something like that. And the media doesn't say anything about their colleagues. It's like a profile in cowardice. So that's a beautiful photo. I love that.
One could say that the people that aren't saying anything, they're not really journalists.
No.
One could say that the people that aren't saying anything are just talking heads and tools for capital, and that they're not actually journalists, and that actual journalists would say something.
Yes.
That's what I think. So I think that they just showed their whole asses out there when they don't say that, because now you're just showing that you're not a journalist. You're a fraud.
Now, if you want to see the person who caused the greatest shitstorm of all, fellow New Yorker, Colin, please cue it up. I know you'll appreciate this one. And this is the one that set the Zionists off the hardest. This is the one that literally had them calling for him to be banned from all.
I'm surprised they don't want to denaturalize him. Can we? Did they try to denaturalize Spike Lee? Let's see.
Colin, where are you? That's not it.
That's not it. That looks like New Jersey. Okay, there it is. Wait, you had it. Go back, Spike. There he is.
He shows up at All-Star Weekend dressed like this, and they all lost their mind. There are people calling for him to lose his season tickets. Don't ever let him into Madison Square Garden ever again.
Oh, my God.
This is the person who made Do the Right Thing and then followed it up with Malcolm X. This is a person who understands what it means to take chances and to be a voice for the people.
It's the man purse for me. It's the man purse, or the merce, rather, that does it for me.
Well, it's a great outfit. It's eye-catching, that's for sure. But I love the Palestinian motif on the man purse. but it's the way the Zionists work, they are so petty. Have you heard the story about the British Museum? They're trying to force the British Museum. It's called the UK Lawyers for Israel. I didn't know Israel needed lawyers. They have pressured the British Museum to remove the word Palestine from certain displays. We'll say Canaan instead of Palestine. So they've done this. They bragged about doing this. Now the British Museum is claiming, well, we just, did a refresh. We changed some names. And I'm like, you did it. You did what they told you to do. This story broke yesterday, Sunday. And now the British Museum has, as far as I know, did not make a statement today where they could have either confirmed or denied it, which tells me that they did it. And that is the sort of thing that runs the world, that people can snap their fingers, and these supposedly august institutions talk about a weak liberal class. I mean, that's represented by the British Museum, although some people are saying, well, they stole everything in there. What do you expect?
Well, there is that, right? Like there's that. So it's like, if you're going to steal our stuff, we're going to lie about it too, I guess, goes with it. But I mean, that makes sense. But you know what? That's the most Florida thing I have heard that I can imagine the UK doing. That's the most Florida thing ever. Like we rename stuff in our book. Like that is a very Florida thing.
Yeah. So anyway, that, but I just wanted to bring that up of, and in the UK with Starmer's government, I mean, he's in trouble. He may have to resign because of his, Epstein had his fingers in everything. Epstein bought off the Norwegian diplomats who were negotiating the Oslo Accords. He gave them money. He gave their kids money. And we wonder why.
Where do you think that money's coming from?
Where's the money coming from? Well, I did not know he was worth almost $600 million. I did not know that he was that wealthy.
Well, again, a lot of that money comes from Wexner, which came from Israel, which came from the State Department. Again, it's all one big circle. And these conduits, if you will, that Epstein represented for so many people, all of it was, as Whitney Webb, I always reference her, one nation under blackmail.